Hey everyone, how are y'all doing today? Tonight, this evening, morning, whatever it is, wherever you live. How are y'all? Sorry, I was trying to fix something real quick. Which one was it? Okay. So I'll give usually I'll give a minute for people to come in. So I want to discuss the Audrey Hale um woman girl that was the school shooter in Nashville, Tennessee at the Covenant School. Um, I'd like to discuss her and our thoughts and opinions. Hey, cool gamer, how are you? Hey, Amy, how are you doing? um, you know, they talk about. I heard the police officer on or not TV, but I was watching it on here on my phone, and they said that they know she was seeing a doctor for emotional. I think it's like some kind of emotional distress disorder. I don't have any more info on that. Um, but I was coming back to like something I said yesterday, and everybody might not agree. We're all human. We can all agree to disagree. But in my opinion, like I said, like me and plenty of others out here deal with mental health. But honestly, how many of us are sitting and, you know, how deep can the mental health go for you to want to go do that to somebody? Go, to a school and do that and take innocent lives, or go anywhere and do that, period. Like, I don't see an excuse for it myself. I really don't. And I know mental health can be on so many different levels, and you never really know what someone's thinking. But if you're already under a doctor's care for this, if you're having a bad day, why don't you go to the doctor? Or I would call your doctor and be like, hey, I'm having a bad day. I feel like doing this. It's in my head. But she planned this out. This was planned. I honestly do not believe this had, maybe in her mind, it stems back to something. I'm not, I don't know what it could stem back to. But she had no excuse. She planned this out. She had a map. Um, you know, I'm not sure what else she had because it hasn't been released, but I know she had like a manifesto. So I don't know. And somebody said she was, it was either, I think it was a family member, or it was somebody said that about her being on the autism spectrum as well. Any autism child I've ever met, yeah, they have their breakdowns. There's particular stuff, but I've never seen one to be, you know, like that, to want to go do something like that. Um, I just, I just don't see any excuse for it. So, I figured we can do like a question and air thing. Like, do y'all have questions about it? If I don't feel like I know my opinion to it, I can Google it and see what Google says about it. But I just heard that she definitely planned this. She did surveillance of the school. Yeah, she had to have done surveillance, unless she like had that great memory of when she attended the school. Like, she had to have done surveillance to know where where everything was. And I don't. I wish I knew everything that was in the manifesto. I really do. I wish that they could release it all. Um, she also, let me see if I can pull it up here for us. She sent a letter to one of her friends. Hold on. Let me figure this out. Share screen. Um, Maybe that's not the right one. Hold on. I gotta pull it up. I gotta remember how I did it last time. And video file, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to pull it up. I pulled it up something up before, and now I can't remember how to do it. What's a slide? No. How crazy. I was gonna, but I'll just read it from my phone if I have to. Let me see. Let me try this one more time. Select tab to preview. To stream. Sorry about that. Sorry. What happened? I am also curious about her being autistic and doing something like this. I'm not an expert on autism, but aren't people with autism usually quiet, withdrawn, kind? Yes. I mean, some do have, their breakdowns and stuff, but I've never seen one, be aggressive. They're usually pretty loving, to be honest. She even told her friend that she loved her and that she was the most beautiful person. Yeah. That's, I was going to read that. Let me see. I'm just going to read it from here, y'all. So these are the messages from, she preferred, I guess, she went by Aiden. Aiden was the other name she went by. So it says, so basically, that post I made on here about you was basically a sewer note, if you know what I mean. I'm planning to die today. This is not a joke. You'll probably hear about me on the news after I die. This is my last goodbye. I love you. See you again in another life. Audrey. And then she has Aiden in parentheses. And then her friend said, Audrey, you have so much more life to live. I pray God keeps and covers you. And then Audrey said, I know, but I don't want to live. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to upset you or get attention. I just need to die. I wanted to tell you first because you are the most beautiful person I've ever seen and known all my life. Let's see. Did she say anything else? I'm not sure if I got it all. Oh, yeah. My family doesn't know what I'm about to do. One day this will make more sense. I've left more than enough evidence behind, but something bad is about to happen. She even told her friend that, oh yeah, we're allowed to call her Audrey Hale because that's her dead name. Oh yeah, definitely. Mucho Taco. Definitely. I was just reading, like whenever I say Aiden, it's because I try to read like everything that's on there. And so I just say Aiden, but I don't even, I'm not even positive if like everyone knew that she wanted to be a boy. I mean, you had to have been able to tell, but I don't know. And did y'all see this about the, okay, the Colorado Springs shooter identified as what is it called? Non-binary, whatever. I don't know. The Denver shooter identified as trans. Aberdeen shooter identified as trans. Nashville shooter identified as trans. I don't know. That's just something that I guess because people were just trying to see who identified as what, I guess, and so they've got like 4 trans. But she planned it. Oh, hold on. How are you this beautiful evening? Does that mean the name that she left? So, Amy, I think, okay, so her name was always Audrey Hale. Is this what you mean? But in certain, I think with certain people, she wanted to go by Aiden. I'm not sure if she ever went, full on trans, or if it was just something she wanted to do and wasn't there yet. Something like that. You know what I mean? But Audrey Hale, I reckon, was still even the name on her birth certificate and everything. But with certain accounts and stuff, she has it as Aiden Hale. So, and I'm not sure if it was because her parents didn't approve of it or what. So, I see. So, I don't understand, in my opinion, that what in your mental illness, these people didn't do nothing to you, and even if they did, you don't have a reason, unless you're fighting for your life at that moment between you and that person. You just don't have a reason. And I don't understand if she had, if it was mental health and stuff, why didn't somebody notice it before she messaged her friend right there? Why couldn't they have noticed something ain't right? Maybe I'll never understand. Maybe we'll never know the true answers to it. But I've never understand. Well, hey, Soldier Poet, how are you doing? I can't see it because I know, with my mental health goes deep, and I can never think about going out here and just taking somebody's life because I'm hurting from something from the past, or just something. I could never do it. I couldn't. Now, if it was a you or me situation right then and there, and I had to, yeah, I could. Hey, nobody, how are you? I would do it, because I wouldn't have a choice. I'd be in that situation, and you ain't taking me out, so I'm going to take you out. It would be something like that is the only way I could do it. I couldn't just sit and plan out hey, I'm going to go take these innocent lives because these people, maybe it's because she felt they didn't like her, Christians didn't approve of her. I don't know. People are they are disgusting. This world is an evil, evil place, and it's only getting worse. And I'm discussing this some people don't like to discuss like this, but this is real. And this is, this is life right now of everything going on. Why are you watching me like that?
Because I just watch you. What's wrong with you?
You make me nervous when you watch me. But this is life, doing good. I'm glad you're doing all right. But this is life, and this is what we're living, and this is what our children are growing up in. And everybody out here is complaining about the world. But what the hell are they doing to help change the world? So, I'm doing well, just concerned about. Yeah, me too, Amy. Like, you have to. Oh, Soldier said, "Hey, Kenny."
Hey,
Like, you take your kids to school, and you have to wonder: are they going to be okay? Are they safe? If somebody came in there, a lot of public schools do have SROs. But if somebody came in there, is that our SRO going to be able to handle that person? Or, because if people are mapping out schools and they know where that SRO's office is, or just certain things, like what if they, I don't know, hid some kind of weird camera in there and could keep up with everybody and who's where? And it's scary, but that's what this world's coming to. Yeah, it's scary for parents because you don't know if it's going to happen at their school. And it's sad. And we shouldn't have to worry about our children going to school. We shouldn't. And I'm not saying, hey, I'm not one of those people, take the guns away. It's the guns that's doing it. And if you are one of those people, that's fine. Like I said, we're adults. We can agree to disagree. But I do think that people should have a mental health evaluation before they can get a gun. And I do think it should be deeply looked into. I'm not saying everybody with mental health, problems shouldn't have a gun, but I think somebody that's going to. Can y'all hear me at all this whole time? I feel dumb. Some just popped up telling me my audio was removed. I wasn't even on the screen. And I'm just sitting here talking. Yeah, she shot through glass doors. Oh, you can't hear me? Okay. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. My internet's acting crazy. It keeps cutting off. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it. But ever since that storm, it's gotten really bad. But anyway, it was caught on camera. She shot through the glass doors. How can people just go inside of school like that? Lock the doors. Yeah, she shot nobody. She shot through the glass doors. Did you see, I don't know if you've seen it, nobody, but if you go back, I posted a video earlier. You got to prove that you're of age to watch it. But there's that one with the police officers when they arrived on scene and went in. And then the one before that I posted was her shooting through the glass doors to get in. So, man, if I would have went just like a bunch of people just go and tackled her ass. So I don't know. They should have had.
See how fast the Tennessee police showed up?
Yeah. You can't really say what you do in that situation because, nobody really knows unless they're in that situation what they would do. But I feel like even though the school was a private school, they should have had security. Like I said yesterday, my kids, their schools are locked. You can't get into their school. You have to push a button, stand on this square. They have to see you on the camera. You have to say who you are, what you're there for, all kinds of stuff before they allow you to come in. So, I don't know. Now, is there what do you call them things that beep when you go through them? I don't know, whatever they're called. The things that you walk through and they beep, metal detector. They don't have that at school, but they do have an SRO in he does have an office and all that. I'm not going to say on here where his office is just because that's their personal business. So, but yeah, remodel the building. They protect inmates better than children. They honestly do. They do protect. You see when an inmate murmurs someone and they're escorting them out of the courthouse, they normally will surround them in case somebody tries to attack them or something. But do you see them surrounding our kids and making sure our kids are safe when they're at school? There's one police officer at my kid's school. And it's a big school, so bad things have to happen for a change. Yeah, but these bad things, the thing is, these have been going on for a while. It ain't just where I live. It's out here in other states. It's been going on. What's it really going to take for change? Should everybody in this world that wants change, should we all pick a day and time and go out and march about it? Everybody in the world on the same day? I don't. What's marching going to do? Are they going to listen to us? I don't think they will. I don't think. I've always said it. The government, they could care less. They don't give a shit about our kids. They don't give a shit about us. None of them. I hate to say it, but it's true. They care about money. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see them really doing much change with the kids' schools. I just don't. Unless a school takes it into their own hands and does something, then they might. But, for that school. But I don't see it happening worldwide. I see more coming. I see it getting way worse. Worse than just the school shootings. There are supermarket shootings and stuff like that as well, but I see it getting worse than, these shootings at schools and supermarkets. And it's, a lot of people think I'm crazy, but y'all are the crazy ones for not believing me. Just remember that. Until something happens to someone high up, nothing is going to change. Exactly. And I haven't seen the video from President Biden yet over the school, but I read something. Somebody had commented on something, and they said that he was making jokes about ice cream or something before he even started talking about that. He was making some kind of jokes and then mentioned the school shooting. So I want to look at that because they were like, he doesn't even care. So I haven't seen it myself, but that's just what somebody else said. You hate the world. Yeah. Well, I don't really hate the world. You don't want to hate the world. Don't hate the world. It sucks. The world sucks. It's evil, but don't hate it. Because then that's just going to put hate into your heart, and you don't want that. You don't want to have hate. You can dislike, a lot of things in the world. You can hate some things that's happening in the world. Just don't hate the whole world. Because the whole world don't hate you. I love everybody. So, and I'm part of this crazy world. That woman wanted to go to a local mall. Yes. She had planned after, allegedly, because I haven't seen it. It was in one of the things I was reading. And they said that she had planned, if this went through, she was planning on going to the mall and whatever else she was going to do there, she had other plans besides just the school. I'll just say that. I'll wait for everything to come out, but she had plans to go other places. Like, this girl planned this out. It wasn't, just some, thing she woke up and said, this is what I'm going to do today, She planned it. 90% of people only care. Yeah, I know they do. But you know what? Money isn't, money helps because it pays your bills and, you might be able to buy stuff that you want. But money isn't really, a lot of people say the money's the root to all happiness, but I've never felt that way. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird, but I've never cared about money. Like, yeah, we got bills and stuff, but I'm not one of the people that I have to have stuff either. Like, I'll be as patient, if I want something, I'll do things to make money, extra money to get it or something if I need to. But usually, just like at our house, almost every penny goes on bills here. So I'm used to not caring, we don't care about money here. A lot of people do, a lot. You can have a record and be mentally ill, but can go to Florida and get a gun or 5 same day. Are you serious? Wow. I thought if you had a bad record, you couldn't get a gun. Do they not do checks anymore? Like background checks when they run them? I know they said she bought 7 guns from, I think it was 5 different stores. And the 3 guns that she used in the shooting were all, was it semi-automatic? I believe. Yeah. So it's a sad world we live in, and I wonder how close the friend and shooter actually were. I wonder too. Well, I think they went back from school days, but I don't know how close they truly were, and because I haven't heard that part. And I know they're supposedly out here somewhere, and I tried to find it and I couldn't. But the friend spoke to the media somewhere out here. It's posted. I don't know where. But they played I think they played basketball in middle school together. Is how that went. But what did maybe she liked that friend in a different way. I don't know. I can't say that. That's just my thoughts. My friend did 7 years for armed robbery and went to Florida and got a pistol. Dang. I say that happens in a lot of places, though. They didn't seem that close from the... I haven't seen that interview. You have seen it? See, I haven't seen it. I tried to find it, but I couldn't. Maybe I'm typing in the wrong thing. Because I want to see it. Because I thought it was weird that her friend only messaged back, what was it? For God to comfort and prayers or something. What was it? Hold on. Whenever her friend messaged back, like, it said, Audrey, you are so much more, or you have so much more life to live. I pray God keeps and covers you. And that's the only thing that I can see in these messages that her friend wrote back from out of all those messages that Audrey sent. But I got to watch that freaking video. Oh, definitely definitely. That's why I'm always on alert everywhere I go. Great video you posted earlier on the shooting. It reminds me. Oh, thank you, Brandon. It does. I mean, a lot of people get out here and they forget, they let their guard down. And usually when you let your guard down, that's when something bad happens. Like, you always got to make sure, stay safe, stay alert, watch your surroundings, because you never know what's going on. And if you see something, say something. Like, her mom, that's what I'm thinking. Her mom said that didn't her mom say she seen her leave the house with the red bag? And she kind of questioned it, what's in the bag. And I don't know what Audrey's response was, but allegedly her mom just kind of blew it off, like it said something like mother-daughter thing, blew off. And then Audrey left with the red bag. But to me, if you just got a bunch of weapons stuffed in a red bag, wouldn't you be able to tell that that's weapons in that bag? Because the barrel, the way, just the shape of stuff in that bag. But then I thought, and I was like, well, what if her mom would have said, well, let me look inside the bag. And then all of a sudden Audrey pulled the weapon out and shot her mom and then went and done that, So I don't know. I bet the shoot makes sense if that's the case. Yeah, I wonder, and that's just my thoughts, opinions, thoughts, whatever you want to call them. I bet the shooter had, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe she had a crush on that friend, so she messaged that friend. Because I wonder how often they really talked, how close they were. I don't know. Maybe that friend had rejected her before. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak. I'd like to know, though. I can't speak on the relationship or if she was rejected by that friend. But she made sure to tell that friend that she loved her and stuff. Maybe they've had a past relationship, or I don't know. We'll know one day, maybe. Hope you're well. Hey, Brother Troy. Hope you're good. Oh, doing well here, Brendan. How you been? 3 questions. Where am I? Who am I with? And where am I going? I learned that here on YouTube. Keep these questions with you at all times. Oh, wow. See, who am I with? I'm usually with my thoughts in my head. No, I always keep my eyes open whenever I go places. I don't like to go places by myself either. It's rare unless I'm running up to the dollar store or something real quick. Or if it's a have-to situation. I just don't like going by myself because I don't trust this world. And that's, why I don't. But it don't stem from things what's going on now. It stems from my childhood. So I don't trust. I have a lot of trust issues with a lot of people. It's hard for me to trust. But once that trust is broken, if I trust somebody, I will never trust you. The interim. Oh, did it? Heck yeah. I haven't watched that in a long time. That's going to stick in my brain now. That's good though. I never heard it like that, But I just honestly, in my opinion, I don't see it being her mental health. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she, I thought maybe since she was rejected by some Christians, so she took it out on the school, or I don't know. Did somebody at the school do something to her? But then again, she had it planned to go to the mall and stuff. Yeah, that's what I said that, honey. Regardless, there's no excuse for what she done. No excuse, period. I don't care what kind of mental health, and I'll talk about mental health and stuff, but I don't agree with what she done, and I don't care how bad it was. She could have reached out to someone else if she was just having thoughts, but no, it was planned out, so I can't say she was just, woke up that morning and bumped her head and said she was going to go do something. I'm much better than I was, Brother Troy. Oh, I'm glad you're doing better, Brandon Joseph. A Christian school is the last place. Yes. And it was scary. When I was looking at the school, like it showed it up in the air, you know. Maybe it was like drone or footage or something. I don't know. But it was a picture of the whole entire school. And across from one of my kids' schools, they have a school that is a church. It's a church, like just like that one. It's a Christian school. Identical to that. Identical. Right there. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it just made me think, like, what if, you know, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't think like that. But how can you not think something like that when things like that are happening, you know? And a lot of times when people see, like, these crazies out here, it, like, I feel like when they see something like that happen, like, it makes them want to do it. I don't know. Does that make sense, y'all? Dang. But I do. I feel like these crazies that want to do stuff like that, I feel like when they see it happening and stuff, then and if they ain't done it yet, then they want to do it. I just feel that way. Oh, you want to come up, Poet? Good. Let's see here. Oh, I got it from my phone. I forgot. 1 second. Let me go in there. Well, Paul, you ain't never came up. Leah is not even here today for it. Well, hey, damn it, Danny. How are you doing? Interesting. Paul. They want to mimic it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They want to mimic it, and they feel like they can do it better or something, you know. It's crazy, and Leah will be mad. She will. But, hey, she can go back on it. She can go back on it and hear it. I'll message her and tell her just in case. She can go back on it. Let me turn this down. Oh, I had to get on my phone to post the link for him. He said Leah's going to be mad. Oh, I hope you had a good Tuesday, too. It's been a good one. I'm going to message Leah and tell her. She ain't been feeling good, though, so she might not come up here, y'all. But, yeah, I feel like when they see it, like you said, Brandon, they want to mimic it, and they feel like they want to do it better, and it's sick. It's sick the way they think. So I can never imagine just thinking like, hey, I'm going to go take all these innocent lives, you know, because I'm hurting because I don't know who I am myself or something. Because obviously, I mean, that's just my thoughts, by the way. This person was struggling with their identity. They didn't know if they wanted maybe be a boy or a girl. In my opinion. And what people do, that's their life. It doesn't affect, I mean, you know what I mean. That's their decision. But I'm saying I think she was struggling. Because she didn't even, supposedly her parents also, they didn't agree with it. So I don't know. Y'all want to see if anything else has come out yet? Can y'all see? Can Troy see the link? I'm waiting for the whole. That's why I keep checking y'all. I'm waiting for the whole thing, manifesto, to come out because I want to know. So the shooter was a trans female identified. Okay, so that's weird. So why is it that? Okay, here's something interesting, y'all, that I just found, and I want to know what it means. It's confusing. But here's a post. It says, I wish someone would give us the truth here. Tennessee school shooter is identified as Samantha Hyde, but the news update just identified her as Audrey Hale. Oh. So it says the shooter was trans female identified as Samantha Hyde. Now I'm really confused about that. Hey, Betty Damn Boo.
Hello. How you doing, Nicole?
Hey, Troy. How are you doing?
Doing well. Hello to everybody in the chat. Good to see you.
Can you see the chat?
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, okay. I wanted to make sure. So that really confused me, though. Now they're saying that she was identified as Samantha Hyde, but everything else is saying Audrey Hale. Now I'm confused. What is her name?
Hey, Amy. Good to see you. Um, I'm not sure why they're changing the name. Let me look that up real quick.
Yeah, because that's confusing. Because see, it says it right here. Oh, I don't know if y'all can see it. But yeah, that's what it's saying on. Unless people are trying to already start that sick joke stuff.
Hey, Betty. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm seeing Audrey Hale. Um, let's see what else. Audrey Elizabeth Hale.
It wouldn't surprise me if people are already starting sick jokes or something and just making stuff up now. I put it in, Samantha.
Hey, Brandon. Good to see you, my friend. Good. I've been wondering how you've been doing. I've been thinking about you and the old group we used to have, hanging out together, having Bible studies. I haven't seen anybody in a long time, Haley or Jane or Angie or anybody. So I'm glad you're doing well, Brandon. It's good to see you.
So they're saying somebody posted this too, and it's saying that her name is Samantha Hyde now. And this was a picture that was posted as Audrey Hale. And supposedly they're saying that's not really Audrey. So I don't know. I'm really confused.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a lot of misinformation and, like Betty said, conspiracy theories. When these things happen, it's going to
Yeah.
be a lot of that stuff come out. So you just kind of wade through the weeds and try to look
Uh-huh.
at reputable sources, which
Yeah.
is hard. Which is hard these days because even the mainstream media,
They're putting out
they lie too.
misinformation.
Yeah, they lie too. So it's hard to say.
This says the Covenant school shooter has been identified. She's a trans female who identified as Samantha Hyde. Birth name was Audrey Hale, referred as Aiden Hale by her friends. See, I don't know. I'm not even going to read that no more because they're just confusing me even more.
Yeah, I did hear that about Aiden. The name Aiden. I heard that
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah, I heard about Aiden. The first I heard about the Samantha Hyde one. That was wow, only one person. Yeah, yeah, only one person. And well, of course, if you watch the video with the police, just be careful, like because I don't know if y'all noticed it, but there is certain things blurred out, like in certain parts of the video. So if that triggers any of y'all, just don't watch it if it's going to trigger you because it's sad. I don't know if y'all paid attention to it, but I seen it and I was like, oh my god.
I know what you're talking about, and I didn't even see that the first time I watched it, and then I looked in the comment section and somebody said at, you know, such and such time in the video, there's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
But
it's sad.
I wouldn't even go back and look. I didn't even want to see it, even though they had it blurred out. I didn't even want to see that. You know.
Yeah, yeah, it's blurred out, but it was something I was like, oh man, like I can't imagine, I just can't. I feel like everybody eventually people are going to start homeschooling more. Watch.
Probably, yeah.
People need to stop spreading lies and or yeah, they do because it screws things up, especially I say somebody's doing it because people are talking about they're just wanting attention or something is what it is. They just need their few minutes of fame for posting misinformation. But it sucks because I try to read on things to get my information and I don't want to ever, say something wrong. And if I do, like, and I find out, like, I'll apologize about it, but I don't want to put out misinformation. So don't believe that Samantha Hyde name until I don't know the police release it. I guess. Yeah, 28 years old. Where is it you're from, poet?
Birmingham, Alabama.
I was trying to remember what part. That's where I used to go when I was a kid. They had this shop, and I used to get some school clothes there. I don't remember what it was called though, but wow, odor. Yeah, odor. And see, there's a lot of kids too that bring it to school, and they do it, during school. They pick, So why don't every school have metal detectors, or something to prevent that and maybe get rid of them glass doors because that was obvious. Those glass doors wasn't going to save nobody.
Well, it's not enough. Yeah, I'm sure you remember going way back to the
Columbine.
Columbine High School. So that was in what, 99, 1999.
Mm,
It's like since then things have improved, but it's not gone far enough. There's still not enough money being spent on this, on security. And from what I understand, I mean, there's still a lot of schools who don't have a resource officer, and that's
mm-hmm.
unacceptable. That's
Yep.
unacceptable.
Yep. A lot of schools don't still. It's not just private schools. There's public schools that don't. That 6 year old that shot. Yeah. They they ended up deciding that he couldn't be charged for it. They said that he's too young to be charged for it. So I felt like he should, you know, have consequences myself. You know, who's to say he don't think he can do something like that in the future?
Yeah, I mean, there is gonna, if he doesn't get proper help, that child is
Mm-hmm.
gonna grow up to be a really bad individual. I mean, and, you know, in the decades ago, they probably would have put that child in a long-term mental facility to make sure that he got help. But you can't
Yeah,
do that no more. That you can't, you know, there's laws now. You can't do that to for most people because it violates their rights.
I'm going to look it up and see exactly what they ended up doing. He was hospitalized.
I mean, you could commit people for a short period of time, but I'm talking about these long-term commitments. You can't hardly do it anymore.
Mm-mm. And you know, kids, have you realized that kids are different growing up now than what like any
Sure
of
they are.
us were back growing up?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Like it's a
absolutely.
lot harder. And a lot of that has to do with, back then, we got punished certain ways and stuff, but there's a lot you can't do with your kids now. Because you'll get in trouble, even though you're not really hurting them or anything. I'm not saying hurt your kids. I'm saying freaking bust that ass.
I mean, there's a discipline problem. There's a sort of what I read one time, like a social order problem. Do you know when kids like our age used to go play around the neighborhood, and that builds social skills, and you learn how to function sort in
Hmm.
society, even though it's your society, it's the kids' society, but you learn how to take that into adulthood. Well,
Yeah,
now kids don't get to run around and play like they used to, and they're
yeah,
not
that's
disciplined
true.
anymore. So if you
Yeah,
if you think about that, they're lacking a lot of tools they need, and they
they
just
are.
don't have that. And you
Because
can't get
when I
that
was
from
growing
video
up,
games and stuff.
yeah, like you could run around, play everywhere. Like we ran all over my neighborhood, and
So
you
did we.
can't do that. Kids can't do that. I don't allow my kids to do that. And maybe some people might say I'm being too protective or something, but no, I'm not going to take the chance of my child going out here and getting snatched, or some Mr. Candyman want to come along and say
Right,
something
right.
stupid. Because if something happened, then I would probably just have to go after them
Yeah, yeah,
myself
I know
if
what
they
you
done
mean.
something to my kids. So
Well, yeah, it's
no.
it's a shame that's it's come to that. I mean, I don't blame parents for not letting their kids run around the neighborhood, or in our case, I we used to go into several neighborhoods around. We used to wander way off. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, there's no way. I mean, we used to go trick or treating by ourselves when I
Yeah,
was
we did too.
9, 10 years old. We'd have my sister was older than us, and she would be with us and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's just unthinkable the stuff that we used to do. Like I remember one time I was 13. I think my sister was 16. We went to Walt Disney World, and our parents just let us, the two of us go off and we meet back here at a certain time. I would not even consider doing that now. There's no way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even, not even teenagers, because with all this human trafficking and stuff, no,
Hmm.
wouldn't even not even in Disney World or somewhere like that, because you just
You
you can't
can't.
trust people.
Can't trust
No,
nobody. And it can even be, and the sad thing, like it's not even just strangers though you have to worry about. It can be people that you got to worry about. And like yeah, it went on when we was growing up and stuff, but it's worse now than it was
yeah,
then.
it's much worse. It wasn't on this level. No, it wasn't like this.
No. Because like I was telling Amy a story, like even whenever like me and my cousins, when we were running, we it was like we were running for our life to keep from being kidnapped one time, like, and what happened twice, but it was with the same people at the same apartment complex, and the cops ended up being called, and the vehicle came back stolen, and it was just ended up parked at the front of the building area and stuff. And I don't ever know if they ever found them, but I was a minor, but I was never heard anything else about it. But I still remember the street name that the vehicle was stolen off of. But I'll never forget, running as fast as I can, hoping I make it, into the person's door that I was staying at that weekend.
Hmm.
And I explain it to my kids because my daughter, one of them's always like, "We can fight them off. Like, mom, drop me off at the mall." I'm like, "No, you do not go without an adult." And here at the mall here, we have what they call predator catchers. It's here in Tennessee. They started their own little thing, and they caught a man at the mall here trying to meet with a minor off the internet. So I
Hmm.
just It's crazy, and the kids don't understand. They think they're superheroes or something. They can take on anything, but
Right. Right.
it's in reality they can't. You no kid, you can't fight off a grown man.
Right.
I hitchhiked then too. I'm thankful. I'm thankful you're okay too. But it was different though. A lot of people used to hitchhike back then, but yeah, stuff still did go on, But it's scary. It's just scary. This whole world is screwed, and like
Right. It's
everybody. Oh, go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like I said earlier, everybody's complaining about how bad the world is and this and that, but I see a lot of people just spreading hate and all that. So why keep all this hate and stuff going if you already are complaining about the world being this bad? Why do you want to keep it going? Like some of the same people complaining about all the hate and evilness, they're the ones helping keeping it going.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. There's an innocence that's gone. It'll never come back. Because it used to be an
mhm.
innocent. I sort of. You know what I mean? It's. We're not. We're never going to go back to those times.
No, we won't. We won't, and it's sad because I don't know, just the way the kids are growing up now and stuff, and they learn a lot from others at school too, and it's just different. And I don't know. I just wish we could change it. Like I wish I could snap my fingers right now and everything just be fine, but I don't know how to change it because like over here, we talk about it and stuff, but what can we really do like besides trying to be kind and all that? What can we
Yeah.
do? Like it's going to take more than just any of us. It's going to take everybody. So, I don't know.
Yeah. That's.
It's
Yeah. The
crazy.
thought of somebody coming into a church or a school when I was
Hmm.
growing up is just and shooting is just it was unthinkable. I mean, nobody even thought of that. It's
Yeah, and I
it's
worry
just
even when I
shocking.
go to Walmart.
Even in Walmart, yeah, Walmart.
Yep. I swear, Amy, I thought anyone. How do we continue and attempt to be sane? That's a good question. Kenny said, "Move off grid."
Well, Amy, when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, I used to, see the news about, in Israel, they had a lot of those terrorist attack and buses being bombed. And there's always something I'm thinking, I would hate to live like that, you know, but that's where we are now. We're living like the Israelis used to live. Now they've got like a wall now they built around, I think, Jerusalem or something. They've they've tightened security. It's not as bad as it used to be, but we're having to live that way now. You just never know when something might happen. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's right. You never know, and that's why, like, I prepare myself honestly. Like, especially if I have to go by myself to the store, I mentally have to prepare myself and stuff for like a what if situation.
Yeah,
And
I know.
you shouldn't have to do that. When I tell the grandkids when I was born, they say, "Nana, did you have electricity?" I wish
Yeah,
we didn't have electricity and stuff sometimes. I'm like, I could live off the grid though. I would be happy because I don't know. I think that would be awesome. Amy, seriously, wow.
yeah. I
Yes.
forgot about the nuclear drill. Oh, I don't think we did the drills. I don't remember doing those, but I remember, hearing about the threat of it on the news. The Russians and could potentially bomb us at any minute. I remember hearing all that, but
Uh, I don't remember doing a nuclear drill. And I don't even remember us having to do shooting drills like they do
No,
now.
no, we didn't do that when I was in school.
Tornado or fire.
Tornado, we did tornado. I remember that. We did the
Yeah.
tornado and we did the fire.
That's the only two
Yes,
I
I remember
know.
those. That's the only two I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never. Oh. Our elementary school had a nuclear safe area. It was our locker room. Oh, it was underground? Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah, dang. It's, I don't know. I wonder, I know they do shooting drills now because I know they go under their desk a lot. But, or there's other, it really depends age group, I guess. But there's different, things they do. But how is like I know going under the desk, it might help save you, but why can't they have something where they can go into safe at schools with the way things is?
I think some schools do have that
Do they?
safe room. I think so.
Wouldn't that be cool if you could like do something and all of a sudden your room turns into like something where nothing can come through, no bullets or nothing? Like they push a
Yeah, I
button.
agree. I agree that the glass on the window that's on the door to get into the classroom, that should be replaced with bulletproof glass. And it ought
Yeah,
to be
why
like a
do they
bat.
hate that?
Well, they should. That's what I mean. The Congress needs to fund this. And onto the classrooms, you need a badge to scan it. To scan
Mhm.
it's got a card reader on the outside. You can't get in the door until you scan your badge. Well, obviously the bad guys don't have the badge and they can't shoot through the steel door and the glass. So I don't know
Mm.
why we can't have that, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand why they can't have it either. And that makes sense because I thought about it. And just because, like, at my kids' school, you have to stand on that square and they can see you on camera and this and that, who is to say I still wasn't a stranger and I didn't have something tucked where they couldn't see it? And they let
Right,
me into the building because I said I was so and so and or
right,
whatever.
right. And keep in mind, that's just a backup, what I'm talking about. So you'd want to keep them from even getting into the school to start with, you know? But if
Hmm.
they did happen to get in there, you would have a backup. They couldn't get in the classroom door. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
There needs to be money spent on this. It's got,
Classroom doors should stay locked
yes, they should.
at all times because and I know there are some schools where they when their door shuts you can't get in from the outside, but that's not everywhere. That's only some places, and
Well, you're
I
going to
think
hear
it's
the
all,
excuse. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I was just going to say, you're going to hear the excuse. There's no money for this. But keep in mind how much
Yeah.
money is wasted. How much money is wasted given to countries that hate us, all these causes that
Mm-hmm.
are really not in the best interest of the United States when we need to be spending money on stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know what I
Or
mean?
our people, that's because they don't care about us. They don't care about their own people. Like maybe heck, they're freaking giving money to the other countries that hate us because they're afraid of losing their life. They don't care if we lose our life. They just don't want to lose theirs.
Right.
I don't know. That's just what I think. Hey, Mr. Happy.
Hey,
Happy,
Mr. Happy.
happy, joy, joy.
But yeah, it's scary when you sit and think because just like with this girl, like I said, she had no excuse. I don't care what excuse she tries to use or whatever to make it look like she had a reason. Nothing gave her a reason. Even if
Right.
she had a reason, she didn't have a reason. If that makes sense.
Right. And I think you were saying earlier, you had grown up with some mental health issues and other people did too, but you didn't go out, you didn't have a desire to go out and shoot people. And
Yeah.
and and neither did anybody I know back in the day who had mental health issues. And I knew some kids back in the 80s who took meds for psych problems, but they weren't like psychotic, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy. Like I can never see an excuse for it because, you know, I sit here and I'll stare at the walls all day if I feel like whenever I'm really down, I'll just sit and stare and I'll cry and I'll go through these different emotions because, and it's, my depression and stuff like that. But never in my head I'm going to go out here and I'm going to, do what this person done because
Right.
that's going to make everything better. It just don't make sense to me.
Well, if you read what she wrote, it seems to me she
Yes,
wanted to
Betty.
commit suicide. She wanted to do herself in, but she didn't have the guts to do it. So she figured she'd just let the cops do it for her. Unfortunately, she wanted to take a bunch of people with her. You know, she was a coward. That's just my thoughts on the matter.
Ugh. she's I'm glad that, and I'm sorry to her parents if you hear this because I know you lost a child as well, but she deserved to be taken out. I, I don't know. She deserved it the way they took her out because, I mean, she planned on it anyway. She would have just started shooting at them.
Yeah.
But
Well, certainly after she did what she did, she deserved to be taken out. I agree
yeah,
with that.
yeah,
Um,
she
but
deserved it.
yeah,
And I know her parents are probably hurting. And if they see this, they're going to be like, what a witch. But it's the truth. I mean, if they were on the opposite end, they would think the same thing if it wasn't their child that done it. But she deserved it, and she's going to hell, in my opinion.
well, I think that's a safe. Yeah, I don't. I normally try to stay away from saying someone's going to hell because I don't want to be. But I think there's situations where you can safely say that so and so is not going to make it into heaven. That's a safe assumption. Yeah.
Yep. And I feel sorry for everybody that lost their life, over some crazy, coming in and doing something like that. Like nobody deserves that. Them poor babies didn't even get to live their life.
No,
You know,
no, that's
this woman lived till she's 28 years old and, you know, came in there and done that. Like took little ones with her. If
right.
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But
it's just sad all the way around.
she must have been in hell when she was here. Yeah. I don't understand how her parents didn't recognize anything. Like I would think if somebody's plotting to do something weird, they're like, well, not weird, but crazy like that, they're gonna be acting weird, be acting a different way. Even if it's not all the time, it's gonna be, there's just gonna be different things. You're probably gonna notice, something's off.
Yeah, she was definitely a tortured individual. I heard today that her parents knew that she had sold one of her firearms, and they just assumed that she had sold all of them. They didn't think she had anything. But it looks to me like, if you know your daughter's kind of off like that, just you would want to go check it out. Make sure she don't have them. I mean, something's not adding up there.
Yeah, something's definitely not adding up. I want. Have you heard anything about the whole manifesto thing being released yet?
No.
You haven't? Because I keep checking and it's not released. I don't know when they would release it. I know they got to do their investigation, but I want to know all of it, all the details. Maybe I shouldn't want to know all the details, but I do because I can't comprehend it. I
Thank you,
guess I
Amy.
just can't comprehend in my head, you know,
Hmm.
what would cause her because supposedly we'll find out eventually. Well, that's what she told her friend.
Right.
I guess how I don't remember how she worded it, but basically like the reason. So I want to know like what was her true reason, because I don't think there anything gave her a reason. That nothing did. Nothing did. But she's acting like she had reasoning, and I just want to hear her reasoning. I always want to know so that so I can understand, and I don't gotta agree. I just want
Hmm.
to understand where she's coming from.
Yeah, there may be a reason why they're not releasing it, so
Yeah.
quickly. I really hope in the manifesto there's not stuff like I hate all Christians and blah blah because
Oh God.
they know that's going to create a backlash. So I'm wondering if, well, I'm just speculating. I don't know if that's in there, but I hope that's not in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want that to be in there either, because that's pretty messed up. And yeah, I don't want to hear that part. I don't. It's Was she forced to go to that school as a child? Do you know?
I don't know about that. I
Because
mean, I heard in that same conversation about our parents knowing that she had sold one of the firearms. I also heard that growing up, she seemed to be happy, in that sort of lifestyle. She grew up in a Christian lifestyle. They didn't see any warning signs like this, growing up.
yeah, that's what I heard
Yeah,
that as well. They didn't. Her neighbor said she was Christian and she was happy. She was nice. She was quiet though. They said she was quiet, and what else was it? I think it was the neighbor. Don't I'm pretty positive it was the neighbor, but she was just quiet and she was a nice person basically.
yeah. They said about 2017 she started to change or something like that.
Oh, is that when she started change? See, I didn't see
That's
that.
what they were saying. Yeah.
Ugh, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Was she going back to places that her parents liked because her parents had upset her? I don't know.
I don't know either, but
It's crazy. I can't wrap my head around it. I would never wrap around my head somebody, just doing something like that, especially to kids. You know, it's sad,
yeah,
with the adults, but especially little ones. Like, I can never understand. It's driving me crazy in my head. I've been thinking about this all day long, trying to look it up.
there's yeah. See, there's other factors like if she had stopped taking her psych meds, that can make somebody
She
really
stopped taking her
homicidal.
meds.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if she did. I'm just saying
Oh,
if she did.
oh, if
If
she
she
did.
did, sometimes that can make people suicidal and homicidal. And it's
Oh,
just sometimes changes can occur with psych patients. They get worse, and it's hard to manage them. The doctor has to put them on more meds, and sometimes those don't work. Then they have to increase the dosage. There's some factors we don't know.
ugh,
You know, and I
yeah,
heard another thing. Some people were saying about the testosterone that she was taking testosterone. Did that contribute to her rage? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
yeah. I got to get my little ones to bed before their mama gets home. Okay, love you, Betty. Good night. Get them to bed.
Take care, Betty.
Did
Did she
she
graduate
graduate
college?
from
I don't know. I'm not sure if she did.
Good
Yeah,
night,
I know.
baby.
what was it, 2014 or 2017 she graduated from college? I thought she graduated and she hold on, I might have wrote it down. I was writing down earlier. Uh, she was born in 95. Let's see. I know she was a graphic illustrator. I didn't write the college part down. Crap. I'm not sure what year it was, but there was something she graduated and she had received an award for it or something. Award.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
thought,
I was thinking it did too. We're talking about that testosterone. Yeah, yeah, because I mean, it's been known for a long time that men who have lots of testosterone can get angry, you know. So
I didn't
I
know
guess
that.
yeah, it's associated with aggression, you know.
Is that like, I thought, never mind. I thought testosterone was, never mind. I know what y'all are talking about now. I was thinking of, isn't it steroids or something that make people
That
aggressive?
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
that can too. Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. Mm, I don't know though, Mr. Scooby. I worked. Oh, okay. But yeah, it's just that girl. I just wish she wouldn't have, you know, I wish somebody would have caught her before she done it, or that. Wish she would have never done it. But if that's what she was going to do, I wish somebody would could have got her right then and there before
Hmm.
anyone got hurt. But it only would have happened if she would have had they would have had a SRO probably or something because you know you
Yeah,
know
I mean, I don't know how many more of these we're going to have to watch. You know, they need to. This needs to be a
mm-hmm,
top priority for the whole country.
it does, and that's why like I was saying earlier, like some people don't like discussing stuff like this, but it needs to be discussed because something needs to be done, and it's the government ain't gonna care. It's gonna have to be us to force do what we can to force, you know, whatever needs to be done to protect our kids because they don't care. They don't. They're not just gonna up and do something.
Yeah.
Be a bad thing if used incorrectly, but good if correct. I'll support you. I try to get him to come over here on here with me, Scoop, and he don't want to. So good luck. But he can be funny if he'd do it. I don't know. I don't know, Troy. It's
Well, I mean,
sad.
it, there's. I think one of the solutions is an easier fix. That's the security, retrofitting the doors and all that stuff. But the second part of the solution is not popular, and that's dealing with the mental health crisis that we are in. And it's reached a point of no return. I mean, things are so bad that, like I said, some you don't have to open all these long-term mental hospitals, like not in the same numbers that we had in the past, but some of them are going to have to be reopened. And
Yeah.
this has got to be dealt with. This is serious. I mean, we can't have certain people walking the streets because they're going to do things like this.
Mhm.
I
We
know
used to have
I know
two.
it's a controversial issue, but this is an extreme situation. It's going to have an extreme solution. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah,
You
because
look at Los Angeles. You're always seeing you'll see these reports of somebody got murdered, and who did the murdering? It was somebody who had a long psych history. You know what I mean?
mental.
It's
It is, Amy. It is. I totally agree with them. There's not enough help. There's or the right help for a lot of people out here. I guess you would say.
and
More.
I'm not for going back to the way it was in the 1800s where you could, just commit somebody with one signature. I'm not saying that, but there should be a process where I don't know, you have 3 psychiatrists and a judge could do it. I mean, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, you should. And like, and I know here they take them to the regular hospital a lot of times before, like, if they're admitted into the mental hospital. Is that what they're called? Like, y'all know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I
The
know. Psych ward, yeah.
Yeah, before they send them there. But if whoever comes in to talk to you, if they don't feel like uh, you're really in a crisis right then or something, then they won't send you. Because I know somebody, and she was having really, really bad thoughts. Um, and she was planning it out and everything. Well, she was trying to get the help. She went to the hospital, and the lady, like, she ended up, I guess, maybe calming down or something, because the lady asked her, do you feel like you're gonna harm yourself right now? And she was like, no, I'm not thinking about it right now. But because she wasn't thinking about it right then and there, they didn't send her to get
Mhm.
help at that place. So
Right. Right. Good night, Kenny.
I bet that her parents were not part of her. Yeah, I bet they weren't either. So your thumb wrote. No, no. What? Did you receive those texts or how? No, my thumbnail is the messages from the school shooter. I didn't receive them. No, no. Shut up. He's making fun of me, y'all. But it's between the school shooter and the school shooter's friend. It wasn't between me and that person. No, no, no. I took a screenshot, and I was wanting to do a thumbnail, and I ran out of time. So instead of me trying to find a photo app to put it all together, I just posted that one, because that was something between her and her friend. How did you find them? I just searched. I I put it in my search bar thing and type in messages between, or Instagram messages between Nashville, Tennessee, Covenant school shooter and friend, is how I found them. Because I had already seen them and I didn't screenshot them then. So then I had to put it in my search to look for them. But that's how I found them. They're out here. Her friends talk to the media and everything. Like, I haven't talked. They weren't sent to me from. She didn't message me. No. Oh, it's so sad. It is sad. Love you. It is sad.
Love you.
Authorities are going to eventually take her social. They already have, from what I understood. I can't find it. It's just screenshots and stuff everybody took before they took it down. But from what I understand, they took it down like quick. That's what everybody was saying yesterday, that they were hurried up and screenshotting because like they were taking it down fast. But I haven't. Let's see. Who would do that to a school like that? I can't answer that, Mr. Happy, because somebody that's evil, pure, you've got to be pure evil to do something like that. That's the only way I can describe it. You're just a freaking nasty, disgusting, crazy, evil person that should have been swallowed. In my opinion. That's the only way I can describe it. What do you think, Troy?
Yeah.
Is Troy even?
I was.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you were really quiet, so I was like,
No,
is
I
it
was just
just
thinking
like
about
showing
something.
his picture still and kick him off, or what happened?
No, I'm here. I was just, how do you feel about, or anybody in the chat for that matter, how do you feel about demonic possession? Do you believe that?
You mean like people being possessed?
With a demon, yes.
Yes, that can happen. Yes, I believe
I
it.
believe it too. I believe it too. Um, yeah, I was a deep thought. I was just, well, I was thinking about whether I'm going to ask that question or not because I know some people don't believe that. And there's people who are spiritual people, but they don't believe. Like for instance, a lot of people I grew up with in the church that I went to, they don't believe in demonic possession. Now they believe it happened in the first, second century and before, but they don't believe it happens now. But I do. I don't believe a lot of the things that I did when I was growing up. As far as, my Christian beliefs, I've kind of evolved, but I do believe in it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Now I do.
I believe it. I honestly do. There's a lot of people that don't believe it, but if they don't, that's okay. That's them. But I do. 3 kids and 3 adults. Like why? Happy. We really don't. I can't tell you why. I like Amy said, someone who is mentally unstable. That's possibly part of the reason, yes. But I feel like heck, maybe it. Uh, I don't want to say. I don't because I don't know why they just.
Well, the reason I brought that up is because I think if you do believe that, it makes it easier to understand, easier to understand, not easy, but easier. Because a demon will do anything. They're
Oh
totally
yeah.
wicked. I mean,
Oh
they're
yeah.
just fallen angels. So
Um, I've there's
this
this
doesn't
one.
excuse what she did, though. It doesn't
Yeah.
get her off the hook, though.
Which what you said, that's a possibility. And but it's like I sit and think, will we ever know the truth of why, or like what, or like I don't know. I don't think we will. I don't. And the truth isn't going to change anything or bring any of those victims back. But I would like to know. But I don't know unless she wrote it down and they're going to say it. But I don't. She, she makes me mad. Like sometimes to a point, I wish that like they had to take her out. They had no choice, and she deserved it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wish that she was just like arrested, like some of them, so she could deal with any punishment. But I think she got a bad punishment, but she kind of got what she wanted.
Well, the moment she started spying at the police, that was it for her. She was
Yeah,
going to be killed. There was no two ways about it.
yeah. Why do
Um,
some people say evil and some not?
I use the word wicked and evil sometimes interchangeably, but I try to use evil for the worst of the worst, when I describe something.
Hmm. I'm gonna grab a cigarette. Talk to them real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I believe, I know real evil exists.
Oh shit! Why did you scare me?
We just listen to the drama in the background there.
Well, I hope we see that on live.
I had my camera off. Hold on.
We can hear all the drama in the background. We'll make a show out of that. Okay.
God, he
The
was
mo- the
waiting around
moment your
the
camera
corner.
the moment your camera went off is like we started hearing all this juicy drama in the background.
He was hiding around the corner as soon as he has the lights off in there in the living room. Just the TV's on. So as soon as I walked through that way, he was hiding to the side of the wall around the corner and jumped out to scare me.
Yeah, that's funny.
My heart, I think it hit the ground.
No, when I use the word evil, I usually associate it with people who are possessed or people who are under the influence of demons, like they're oppressed. Oppressed. For instance, um, think about throughout history some of the worst men and women who've ever lived. Some of them may have been possessed, but others just were. They're doing the bidding of the devil, so they were evil because they're doing his will. And I don't know exactly how that transpired, but you know, you know the people I'm talking about,
Yeah,
Stalin and other people like that. Um, you can't murder millions of people not being under the influence of the devil, as far as I'm concerned.
that's true. That is true. What is your thoughts when like when I say like the the world being evil?
Well, I think yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. The world at large, it is evil. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Someone once said to me, "We are all born evil. It's just what we choose in life." I was born the sweetest baby alive.
I don't think we're born into a sinful fallen world, but I don't think babies are evil. I think at some point when we start to understand what sin is, which is about the age of 12 or 13, I think at that point, yeah, we become, you know, we start doing wicked things because we understand what sin is. We understand the consequences of it.
Yeah, that's true. And that's what I'm saying. Like that, just like with that girl, she knew what she was doing. You
Oh,
know?
absolutely. I believe you do.
Yeah, I don't, especially with it being planned out and stuff. She knew, stupid witch. It makes me mad. It does. It angers me inside, like because I don't because I want things to change, but it's
Right.
like what can we do to do it? Because I don't think the world, a lot of people in this world in this day and time care enough. Maybe there are ones that do care enough, but there's some out here that's just like whatever. But I don't know if you know what I don't know if you know what I mean, but
Hmm.
some just don't care enough for change. They're comfortable with the way things
Yeah,
are.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So, but I'm not
No,
comfortable.
I'm not either. Because we can't just keep kicking the can down the road. We got to do something, you
Hmm.
know.
Something's got to be done, and I just don't know what we can do because they're not going to listen to us. Nobody's going to listen to us. So that's the thing. Unless I don't know if somebody like the whole world on the same day, like I said, maybe everybody should march about change on the same day, the same time around the whole world. But what's that going to do? Because I don't know if that would work. I'm not even saying like just it ain't going to be like you know hate marching or nothing. Just I don't know. I try to
Yeah,
think of things, but I don't know what to do. Do you
I
all
don't.
think she was beyond curable? If she was
Um,
beyond curable, wouldn't they have put her in some crazy like the psych ward or something though? Or
I don't. It could have got to the point where you know, like you're saying, Nicole, they would have had to commit her somewhere. But if it was a spiritual issue, if it was a spiritual issue, the psych treatment not going to do any good. You
that's
see.
true.
So, but that being said, if it
Hey
was a
Leah.
spiritual issue, then I do believe in exorcism. Hey, Leah, good to see you. So no, I've always been taught this, and I still believe it. As long as you have life in your body, you have air in your lungs, you can there's always hope for you spiritually to be saved, and I still believe that.
Hmm.
And I stand by that.
I think yeah, like you said, you explained it better just now than I would have. Like, I think so too. As long as you're breathing and stuff, there's
Yeah,
hope. And if she was that bad, then she should have been committed, because if she was that bad, it would have been noticeable, I would think, to where somebody said something.
yeah. Yeah, I think it can reach to the point where the Bible talks about people's conscience being seared with a hot iron, which means you can't correct that behavior because they are not going to be willing to change.
Yep.
They don't want to change. So yeah, I get, yeah, I see what you're saying, Amy. I think some people can reach that point because they don't want it. They don't want to change for the better.
Yeah, because they could care less, really. Like,
Right.
and it's the evil in them,
Right.
maybe,
Right.
because they just don't care. It's going to be what they want and how they want it. You know,
Hmm.
there's people like that don't want to change. They don't care. They want to hurt people, and
Yeah.
it's sad, but there is help, or hope. I'm not saying there's help for everything because, you know, the way this world is, but there's hope. And I just feel like if she was that bad, somebody would have noticed it and they would have said something.
Right. Yes, it's I'm looking it up for you. I don't know the exact verse. It's in let's see here. First Timothy. It was Apostle Paul that said that. First Timothy chapter 4 verse 2.
Our hope is in Jesus. Would you say it's in 4 verse what?
Let me see.
2?
First First Timothy 4 2.
Okay.
And he's just saying some people's conscience can be it's seared with a hot iron. I mean, it's just like, if you sear a wound, it's going to create a scar there, and you can't ever reverse that. It makes a big scar. Oh yeah, I'll have to get on YouTube. Just a second.
Oh, I typed it. I think
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Okay.
did you want to type out the whole saying? Oh, I think she wants you to type out the whole saying. I don't know. I typed the.
And she just said she can look it up. I think she's Oh, you got the verse there. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I just seen the end part where I'd like to look it up. Phew. What is that the planet?
Oh, that's the Milky Way,
The Milky Way.
the
Oh,
galaxy.
Milky Way
Yeah.
sounds good.
I couldn't find another avatar to put on here. I thought I had my regular picture, but this is a different computer, and I guess I haven't uploaded that picture. So I was like, well, I'll just use the Milky Way.
I was looking. I was like, is that a planet?
There's a lot of
No,
planets in there.
just its location. Yeah, I wrote it for you, Amy, love. But yeah, I don't know. I think the world. I don't know who all believes, that the world's getting worse, but it is, and I feel and I see that it's not going to get any better. I feel like there's going to be real, real bad, worse things about to happen. And that's just my thoughts and my opinions on that, but I do feel it.
Oh,
And I
yeah, it's
see
definitely
it.
going to get worse. Hmm.
Let's all hang out on the Milky Way.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Milky Way. A Milky Way sounds good though, for real. But I don't know. Like I said, I wish there was something else, something more we could do. But we can just keep trying like we are, trying to, instead of spreading more hate in this world, being kind and stuff. And I'm not saying we're perfect because some things we say might not seem very nice, but
Hmm.
that's, you know, I always say what I'm feeling or whatever. I'm not going to just be like, oh no, it was okay. She didn't deserve to be shot for doing what she did. Or, I'm not going to, what do you call it, sugarcoat it.
Hmm.
I'm just,
Yeah,
that's just who I am. I'm going to say my feelings on it. And
right.
that's my feelings and
Uh,
thoughts.
Thank you, Amber. Yeah, I love astronomy. I used to have a telescope. I don't anymore, but yeah, I love talking about the Bible, and I love talking about space because I've seen all the planets except for Neptune because it's so far away. I couldn't see it with my regular telescope. You'd have to have a big telescope for that. But seen a lot of the constellations and Orion and Orion's belt and all that.
Oh,
I used to love to get, yeah, I used to love to get out. You have to sometimes get up at weird hours of the night to see the planets, at their best, viewing angle or
that's
whatever. But
cool.
yeah,
That would be cool to, uh, like if I don't know if you ever like done it, got a telescope again and done it, and then you could like somehow have it like your telescope, like a recording one.
yeah, I had a camera. I couldn't get it to. It wasn't one of a cheaper cameras, so I couldn't get it to work right. But you can get a camera and record it all. Yeah, you have to. There's a certain way to do it.
Uh,
You take a bunch of photos and you stack the photos, and then it creates a better image of it. But
oh, that would be so cool.
yeah, you have to invest a little bit of money into that. But yeah, I had a cheaper one. It might have been my laptop wasn't powerful enough to run the software. I don't know, but this was back in 2007, so it's been a few years ago.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to yawn. I love to look out in the sky in the middle of nowhere. Oh
Well, that's
yeah.
the best place to be, Leah. Um, because I lived in a smaller city at the time, but there was still too much light there. The best place to be is out in the desert or a really dark, really, really dark place.
Oh yeah.
So
That sounds like so much fun.
the darker the better. Yeah.
So you could see all the stars.
Yeah, the darker it is, the more you can see with your naked eye.
Yep, that's true.
But
You
I'll
see
tell
a
you the
lot
coolest thing.
whenever it's really dark out there. I remember as a kid we used to go out and lay just to look up at the sky and stuff to see what
Hmm.
we could find up there, and I ain't done that in a long, long time. But it would be cool to do it.
Yeah.
Not by myself though. There's too many coyotes and stuff around here. Let's
Hmm.
see here. But does anybody have any questions for us or anything that maybe y'all are thinking our thought or opinion on? I was trying to look up and see if there's an update yet. This is what I've been doing, is constantly all day just looking for an update. Like, I don't know. This said, oh, they're protecting the mentally ill instead of the children. This is a mental illness problem, not a good problem.
You seem to me like you would like those shows like Forensic Files and all that stuff. I bet
Oh,
you like
yes,
those kind of shows, don't you? Yeah, I used to
I
like
get
that
into
show.
it.
I think I've seen them all at this point.
This says Facebook has removed yet another post of mine pointing out the radical transgender agenda. So it's cool for these literal head cases to threaten to decapitate cross cucks, but not to point out what they're doing. Pick a side. I don't know what that means, but I have no idea. So don't take me as saying that as somebody else. I don't guess there's an update. Just people posting.
Hmm.
You got those people out there posting crazy things now. So, and then, oh yeah, y'all. If y'all go to look it up on Facebook, and where you see a lot of people posting, it will show up like it's a YouTube video or something in the comments. Please don't click on it. A lot of it is someone trying to hack your crap. And it might look like a YouTube video and stuff, but somehow they can hack into your stuff that way. It's not real, like, so don't be careful. Just go to YouTube and search if you want to see something on YouTube about her.
Hmm.
Don't trust people with their links. But yeah, I love Forensic Files. Um, I like to get into things, like I start looking into things myself. Like, even if it's just a new case or something, like I'll sit at home and constantly try to put all the pieces to the puzzle together myself, and hoping, like, you know, I can, what do you call it, break the case or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. But I mean, I
Hmm.
know I'm not no professional, and I'll probably never be the one to do it, but I just hope, like, I just like to help, and I don't know. That's just me, I guess, and I just get real into that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a huge thanks to all of you. No question. Oh, well, thank you, Amy. Thank you very much. Leah, I'm so glad you came to join us. I told Troy you was going to be mad him getting up here and you wasn't on here now. Because I remember her saying that time, Troy, why don't you go up on panel? I want to hear your voice. Don't say never, Nicole. That's true. That's true. Maybe one day I can figure it out. I've started that one, the lady here that I showed y'all that they had a picture posted that's never been claimed since 19 whatever. Well, I realized I was, where she was found, I was growing up in that area, and me and her are around the same age. So I don't know. I've been sitting trying to work on that as well, like, because she's never been claimed or identified or anything. So I've been working on that too, just thinking back and all that.
Hmm. Well, thank you, Leah.
I reckon you could do it. We love yours too. I think it's cool hearing different accents, don't you, Troy?
I do too. Yep, I do.
Sometimes when Leah says something, I'm like, what does that mean? it, like when we're
Hmm.
on the phone or something, and I will die laughing. The things like we just laugh because there's things that we say that means a totally different thing there, and some things you just wouldn't want to go there and say because people would look at you like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Hmm.
I think in my past life, I must have been a Southern woman. Oh, you probably
Hmm.
was.
I have a channel, but I don't have anything posted on it right now. I used to have videos up, but I took them all down because I was getting in some squabbles with people, some fights with people like a couple of
Oh,
years ago. It was people in my own community, but it was just getting out of control. And I'm just like, so I took them down, and then because I really didn't have time to watch other people's videos, and like, well, they're going to come watch mine, and then I'm going to feel obligated to go watch theirs. It was, you know, stuff like that. I just said I'm just going to put them on private for now. I didn't delete them or anything.
it's weird that you say that because about, you know, you feel obligated to go watch theirs because they watch yours. I feel the same way, but my problem is I don't get notifications either. Like for the people here, I don't never get notifications. Like I'll like be scrolling and then it will show, what they posted or that they were live earlier or whatever, and then like I can watch it. But a lot of times too, like sometimes I don't get on YouTube through the day or whatever either. So
Hmm. My videos were just I was reading Bible scripture. Sometimes I'd read the whole chapter, sometimes just a couple of verses. Some of them would just be like real quick devotionals, and then I had live streams also. I've been meaning to, become active again on my channel. I just haven't done it. But I have been, I've
should.
been meaning to for like a year now, and I just haven't found the time to. So
I would love
hopefully
to be an
soon.
advocate,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to. I just know how to talk about things. Really, I don't know how to go out here and really do it. Like if I see somebody in need out here, I'll do it, or whatever. But you know what I mean. Cause
Yeah.
yeah, I remember when Troy used to have videos.
Oh, you do? Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
back you had some on there whenever back on when you was on Natty's, like whenever I first went over there. You had some
Oh,
videos up.
okay. Yeah, I would like to do some narration. I mean, I that's kind of my dream job to be a voice actor. I would love to do that. That'd be really cool.
Oh, that would be cool. I couldn't never do that. I would freeze up and I would mess up every word I was saying, and yeah, y'all know me. But you would be good for it though. You should
You'd
put
be
them
you'd
back
be
up.
good for it too. I mean, you it just you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it live. I mean, it's just like having takes. You can just do a different take.
Yeah. Have have you ever did you well, a lot of yours was videos, but like with my videos, I've done videos before and I had to redo that son of a gun 50 times before I could post it.
No, I'm the same way. I mean, not every one of mine turns out good the first take. Sometimes I have to do it again.
There's some people though, and you're a good talker, so but they thank you, Amy. But they can get on here and I don't know how in the hell y'all do it, but y'all can just talk and not mess up, and like it just seems so good. Like how do they keep talking and not have a pause moment or something? Because I freeze up sometimes and it's almost like I'm trying to shut down, but I have to make myself, hey, you're on here and you've got to keep going. But
Hmm.
it's weird how my brain functions sometimes. But it's like I struggle with it so bad, and I don't really know how to overcome it. I don't I don't know. It's weird.
Well, no, it's not weird. I've had to, I mean, I'd say most of the live streams I've done since I started live streaming, which would probably be early 2018, most of them were by myself. I didn't have panels, certainly in the early days, but it's hard to live stream by yourself because you've got to, now if you've got a really active chat and people are asking questions and they're commenting, it's not so bad, but I don't I mean you can have 20 people in there, but if nobody's talking and stuff, it's hard to keep them coming up with things to talk about because I mean you can only talk about the weather and what you had to eat today so many times, you know. So
Yeah,
I know it's difficult. I know.
that's why sometimes
So
I I'll catch myself like I'll repeat something I've already said like minutes ago, but oh well, maybe somebody new's in chat and wasn't there when I said it. I don't know.
yeah, I know I've done that too. It's
Uh,
a lot easier with a panel. It's much easier.
it is. It's a lot easier having somebody to talk to, and you know, and I think like a lot of people think like it whenever there's panels too. I've noticed. Yeah.
And then the downside of that is if your panel gets too large, then it can be problematic because sometimes you'll have people talking over one another. Sometimes there's arguments, and you also got to keep up with the chat. And then
Oh yeah.
sometimes somebody in the chat will be arguing with somebody on the panel. And it can get to be a. I've had situations like that before. And then you're
Oh
like, oh man, I wish I didn't have six people up here on the panel now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's
I say it would be. I could never. I don't think I would ever allow six people. I can't say I would never, because it might happen one day. But that would. I think that would be a lot like overwhelming feeling having that many people up and everybody trying to talk at once, and I think that would be too overwhelming.
right. Okay, Amy, you take care of yourself. It's good talking with you, and have a good one.
Good night, Amy. I love you. Get you some rest. But yeah, I think that it would just be too overwhelming for me, myself, to have six people on panel at once, because if everybody's trying to talk at the same time, I'll probably cover my ears and freeze up or something. I'll be like,
Yeah.
no. I don't know what I would do, but uh,
Yeah, I've had some tense moments before when I had a lot of people on panel and oh
I,
this happened late in 2020 when all the virus stuff was going on and there was a big argument about the wearing masks and all that stuff. You remember how that got
oh
the
my
mask
gosh.
situation? And there was two people arguing about masks and I was like, "Oh my goodness." And the one woman in the chat was like, "Troy, do you hear what she's saying about me?" Like she was wanting me to be the referee. I'm like,
Oh no.
"Gum, you're a grown woman. You can defend yourself. What do you want me to do?" It really wasn't anything bad she was saying. The woman on panel was just saying she didn't agree with having to wear one everywhere. And it's just
Oh.
stuff like that.
And somebody got upset, and then,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I
they were
think,
like, "No, you need to wear one everywhere."
mm-mm. See, that's why I try not to talk about that stuff on here, because I've seen arguments in other places over that, and it's silly arguments. Like, why are you even going back and forth about it like that?
Yeah.
I listed, I listed two Black Americans have a panel. They all talk over each other's. It
Yeah, I
happens on a lot of channels.
yeah.
A
Yeah,
lot.
that can be a cultural thing. I mean, most of my neighbors are African Americans, so and they will talk over each other a lot. They don't necessarily mean any disrespect to one another, but that's just kind of Um, but now it's not just them. I mean, I'm white, and some of my relatives did the same thing. They would all be talking
Hmm.
over one another too. But
Well,
I remember that as a kid, yeah, I'd be like, I'd be looking back and forth because it'd be like all talking at the same time.
I watched a white panel last night do it, and I
Yeah,
thought I was losing my mind just watching it. I was like, "What in the heck is going on here?"
yeah, it's cultural, and it's just some families do that.
Hmm.
And really, what it comes down to is they're trying to get attention. Everybody's trying to get
Yeah,
attention at the same time.
yeah, they want to be heard, all of them at the same time, and this, you know, it's hard. I think for a lot of people, um, doing big panels like that because maybe sometimes they don't mean to, but sometimes it is a cultural thing or just a habit. Um, but they want to be heard. They all want to be heard, and they all start at
Hmm.
the same time.
Yeah.
So, especially with the drama channels when they do big panels,
Oh,
it
those get really bad. No. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I watched one last night.
Yeah, they are trying to disrespect each other a lot of times. So.
It was my first time watching one with a panel like that. Like sometimes I'll see clips or whatever, but this was like a panel thing, and I was all confused, and it was going insane. It makes me
Yeah.
angry. I feel like saying, "Hey guys, one at a time."
Hmm.
Yeah, because it's hard to keep up when they're all going at the same time. You're like, what did this one say, or what did this? You can't. You're trying to piece it all together what everybody said at the same darn time, because they're still going to keep talking over each other regardless. So it's just something. A lot of people I've noticed here on YouTube do it. Like, especially a lot of the bigger channels, not bigger, but people that are bigger than me at least. Um, I've watched a lot of them do it. I like it whenever there's not six people and you can hear each person individually
Hmm.
saying something, but it happens.
I've been on Natalie's channel, and she'd have 10 people up there. I mean,
Hmm.
I couldn't keep track. There's no way. I mean, I'd be like, nah, I ain't gonna have that many on my panel, because especially when they're a rowdy bunch too, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I couldn't. I've seen 90's channel with a lot of people up there. I just can't do it. Maybe three, lucky four, but
I mean, four is a good number. I've had four, and four works out good, especially if they're good guests. But
yeah,
yeah,
like sometimes. Oh, sorry. See,
go ahead.
sometimes like just like when you're talking out, like on my end, it'll pause for a second, so I'll think you're done, and I'll start to say something, but you wasn't done, and I don't mean to do that. Like, but we also like I'll say go ahead, or he'll say go ahead.
Yeah, it's a very slight delay. It's not much of one, but it's a very, very slight.
Yeah, but it's easier when you can hear each individual person, I think, instead of everybody just going at it and stuff. And if anybody comes over here and sees what she said in chat about listening to that on panel with that, it's she didn't mean anything by it. You know, she's she is
What are you talking about? With Leia?
yeah, because
Oh
you
no,
know
I
how
know she
some
didn't mean
people
nothing about. Oh yeah, some people looking for drama. No, she didn't mean
yeah.
nothing by it.
So I don't want somebody trying to attack her because she's actually black as well. So
I'll give you some advice though about the panel thing. If you do have a large panel and you've got a lot of people in the chat, get s- get someone on the panel to help you to moderate the chat, and because if you're trying to you're trying to be the moderator for the panel and the chat, it's too much. It's just
mhm.
you're trying to look back and forth and pay attention to what everybody's saying on the panel. Get somebody to like ahead of time say, "Will you help me sort of keep order?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and that helps. But it's a lot of times most people they just get a bunch of people up there that just want to talk, 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 Um, a lot of times it's people that are upset with somebody and they're having a big panel about it. A lot of times, I'm not
Well,
saying
those
every.
are just big poo-poo sessions. All they want to do is just throw poo-poo around. You know what I mean? I can't stand those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you. I can't understand what who's saying or anything because I was. That's why I clicked on one last night because I was scrolling through YouTube and it was a recommended thing and it had like so many people on the panel just going back and forth and I couldn't do it. I
It's
couldn't.
just name calling from one end to the other. That's all they do is F you and name calling and you just it's pathetic, really.
Mhm. It's sad, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, why do they gotta keep it going like that and stuff? Like,
And if you say one wrong thing, if you say one wrong thing, then they'll insult your intelligence. They'll insult everything about. I mean, I don't like those kind of live streams.
Leah, you didn't have to remove it. You didn't have to remove it at all. I was just letting them know, don't try to come after her because I'm gonna protect her. And what she said anyway shouldn't like offend anyone anyway. Period. Because it's just you know a statement of something she's seen with her own eyes. So, but
No, it
people
is
take things.
the wrong way. Yeah, they
Hmm.
do.
So, but it doesn't matter. It didn't bother me at all, Leah. You didn't have to delete that. Silly. She got the big smiling teeth going on there. Oh well. Oh shoot! Far. It's already 10:37. Ooh. I reckon I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. Is there anything before I get off? Is there anything y'all want me to discuss tomorrow?
Um, no, I can't. Off the top of my head, I can't think of nothing. But
I can't
we
either.
we can discuss. We I tell you what, we can discuss how Alabama's going to beat Tennessee this year in football. How about that?
Hold on, you're
I'm just
cutting
kidding.
out.
I'm. Did you hear me?
I can hear you now. It cut out.
Oh, did it? Well, it's probably best, and I'm laughing. I said we can discuss how Alabama's going to beat Tennessee in football this year if you'd like to discuss
Oh
that.
shit!
I'm just kidding
Alabama,
with you.
Tennessee's
I'm
going
just
to squish
teasing you.
Alabama.
No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. We can talk about whatever.
Yeah, I know you was kidding. That was a good one though. Next time I'll have to come up and join. Yeah, you will. You will.
Yeah,
I
that
messaged
sounds
you
good.
when it came up.
All right, well, good talking with you, and I'll see you all another time.
Okay,
Take
thank you for
care.
coming up, and you have a good night. I
Okay, you
love
too.
everybody watching here. I love y'all. Everybody have a good night, morning, day, evening, whatever it is where you live. And we'll talk to y'all soon. I love y'all. Good night.